Hey friends, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie and today we are going to be window shopping for HellaHandmade creations. HellaHandmade, or HHC for short, is a monthly pre-order marketplace where a lot of indies create polishes or other products, all following their own themes. So it's a little different from PPU in that sense. I believe the pre-order for HHC is for a week and it's usually in like the middle of the month. So I will have the dates and information in the description box down below. But yeah, for now, let's just get window shopping. Okay, so here's the website. As always, I'm just going to be looking at the general like monthly releases. I've said it before, I wish there was a way to just see just the nail polish because I don't really, or I'm not in the market for, any hand or body care type of stuff right now. So we'll just be focusing on the polish, but let's just look at the first two rows here and definitely some beautiful shades. The first one that stood out was the 1422. It just looks so gorgeous, though I'm not a big fan of how large those flakies are, but I love like that base color with that golden yellow shimmer. It just looks like so perfect for summer. And of course, the all mixed up lacquers, spicy AF. Absolutely adore that, but I don't need another type of hot pink. I feel like this one reminds me the most of Olive Lisa in my collection, so I will just have to wear that. But I think Olive Lisa isn't around anymore, so if you have been waiting for that one, I don't think Walker has mentioned bringing that one back this year, so maybe this might be a good alternative. But we can move on to the next chunk, and from here, the two polishes, not really speaking to me. I mean, like the art as nails is pretty, but it just looks like, Mooncat Mermaid Bait and like other polishes like that, so I can skip it. And the Atomic is like a nice color, but just not one that I really need in my collection, And I know I just said that I was not in the market for like any other, I'm not gonna get anything. But can we just take a moment to appreciate these Angel Wings Creations wax melts? The cinnamon sugar bun, like the glaze. I want to chew on those so bad, but I am not gonna get them, but I'm sure they're, well, honestly, they might be a little too sweet for me, so it's fine. We're not getting it. So moving on, the polishes here. Okay, the Baroness X has like a duo there. The base polish, I think, yeah, the Tower. It's pretty, but again, I feel like, I have something similar-ish. I'm blanking on the name right now, but I feel like there's a Mooncat shade that's like, kind of in that same vein. I do think that topper though, that like reflective kind of glitter, that looks pretty. But I have Hollow Taco's Disco Dust, so it's fine. The BCB Magnetics though, like not that I'm interested in it, but seeing it magnetize, especially in that bottom, what is this, lower left hand, it reminds me so much of Mooncat's Hocus Pocus shade. What is it called? I think it's Amok. That's the purple one. Maybe the tone is like a little off, but again, anytime I see like a deep jewel toned magnetic filled with iridescent flakies, I just immediately think of that collection. So maybe it's not like an exact color dupe, but definitely a close alternative. So we can just move on now to the next chunk here, and from here, the Vanessa Molina Generosity is the one that stands out the most. It's so glowy and gorgeous. I feel like, we've seen this color combo so many times before, but it just never fails to be stunning, This one does have a pink reflective glitter though, so I haven't really seen that, but it's obviously easy enough to like recreate, I think, if you just have a pink reflective topper and then layer it over whatever polish. Like it kind of gives House of Hades a little bit. I think this has a stronger like purple tone, while House of Hades is more indigo. I don't really know how close this would be to Polish for Days Goblins and Ghoulies, but maybe. So I think it's easy enough to like recreate, but it is gorgeous. And okay, wait, also looking at the Vanessa Molina, this magnetic in fashion, the little stars, how freaking cute is that? I kind of wish the magnetic shimmer wasn't like pink, or the background shimmer. I wish it was blue so that way it could just be like, you know, like a galaxy, right? But it is cute. The Cleona, oh my gosh, I just want to look at it. This is so beautiful. Bamboo forest. Oh my god, I have really been loving these bright lime green shades with a gold shimmer. How freaking gorgeous. I feel like I swatched them recently. I don't know where it's gonna fall in my schedule, but there's a shade from Apocalypse's upcoming collection that this reminds me of, and I think Fauve has one as well, but maybe that one is a little bit more olivey. I might be misremembering it, but this is so beautiful. Love it so much. But I feel like it's something that, you know, is simple enough that we can like see that shimmer and color combination again, you know. So we can move on now to the next chunk here. And okay, also loving these like hot shades. I think from here the Cuticula and the Dom are, oh my gosh, they are gorgeous. I'm most tempted by the Dom, La Tomatina, by A Festival in Spain. Okay, cute. I love this color. Oh my gosh, but it's like kind of giving Kathleen & Co.'s Follow Your Dreams, but this has like more of an orangey base, right? Okay, no, it's a red base polish with a strong gold shimmer. So it makes it look orange though, you know, the combination. I think it's so beautiful though. Oh my goodness, this is gorgeous. It's just like way less pink actually than the Kathleen & Co. now that I think about it. Maybe this is more fair to compare to like a much more intense orange shimmer. I mean, I was gonna say Flight of the Monarchs, right, because it has such a strong golden orange glow, but that has a purple base, so like I don't know, I wouldn't call it similar. Maybe it's most similar to Lurid's On the Prowl from last month or this month. I think it was for May, right? From Polish Pickup, because that had like a red base with a golden shimmer, but that was more like a deeper shade. This is a much lighter red kind of color. Either way, it is so stunning, so tempting. I'm just such a sucker for this kind of color combination. Ugh, I would love to have it. I would love to add it to my collection, but I am gonna be strong. I'm gonna walk away from it. Let me just distract myself and look at the Cuticula, because this one is pretty too, but I definitely don't have that same pull. But this definitely is really nice. I feel like it kind of reminds me of Cracked Polish's Cherry Sugar Water, which I have been loving. I'm gonna be sharing that on my channel real soon, and I'm pretty sure KB Shimmer also has a red kind of shimmery color like this that leans like a little bit pink. Yeah, it's described as having a fuchsia base with a strong red to orange to gold to green shifting shimmer flame. Okay, but yeah, I was gonna say I don't remember if the Cracked and KB Shimmer shift to gold the way that this one does, so I feel like in certain angles this kind of looks like Kathleen & Co.'s Follow Your Dreams. Not head on. Head on is where it gives like the Cracked or the KB Shimmer, so it is really pretty, but you know, I won't be getting that one. So the other shades here are pretty, but when it comes to like shades that I'm reminded of, I don't know if that made sense, but the Danglefoot reminds me of, I think it's called High Roller by Island P, or maybe it's like Jet Setter or something like that. It's one of the magnetics from that Black Friday collection a couple of years ago, and I know there's two that are kind of similar, but there is one that I think has this like same exact purple to pink shifting shimmer. Maybe the Danglefoot has like a little bit more of those flakies or something, but either way, it's close enough in my mind. And then the other familiar one was the Elb shade Ambitious, which is just the magnetic base color. I initially was gonna say it kind of gives Island P's Deep Space, but I think that one has more of like a green shimmer head on. This Elb has more of like a cyan, like blue shimmer that shifts to purple. So that reminded me of What's Up Nails Night Contrails, at least if I'm remembering it correctly. It's like blue to purple, but I think that has like additional, you know, flakies or shimmer outside of it. The Elb is just the magnetic, which is gorgeous. Like it's so striking, but it makes sense because it's like, you know, paired with the flaky topper next to it. But yeah, I'm not really super interested in anything else, so we can just, you know, move on. And oh wait, is this like a different Okay, yeah, so there's like another Elb topper. This one is called Cunning. This one looks so pretty. I just want to look at it. I love the colors in this. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. Yeah, it looks like it has iridescent and chrome kind of flakies. How gorgeous. Oh my gosh, it's like broken stained glass or something. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. But I feel like I've said this so many times before. I have a whole drawer full of toppers and I like rarely I rarely actually wear them. And this one, you know, I would want it to just be collecting dust in that drawer, basically. Like, it's so pretty, but I know I'm not really gonna wear it. So yeah, that's the only polish that really is catching my eye there. So we can move on. And from here, I'm not really interested at like looking at these any further, so we can keep scrolling. The Jen Berries look so cute. Tell us about your beaver. Oh, from the Great British Bake Off. I was like, what? That is such a beautiful shade. Oh my gosh, it's like giving spearmint. But this is cute. It's cute, but you know, I don't need to have it in my collection. So yeah, we can just, you know, keep it moving. From here, I think the Moonshine Manny 90210, that's the one that's like standing out the most, but not to the point that, you know, like I need to get it or anything. I'm trying to think because it's like hard to gauge. I mean, it's described as a hot coral, but I feel like the photos or how I see them on my screen are very like orange, right? So when it comes to coral, the color kind of reminds me of like Cirque's Day Tripper, but this has flakies instead of shimmer, and it looks a little bit more of like a jelly kind of base. Super gorgeous. This one is probably like the most color accurate, or at least what I think of when I think of coral. Very gorgeous, but I have corals in my collection. The Moth and Moon, is this? Yeah, formerly Schlee polish. I was gonna say, I feel like I vaguely remember seeing something about Schlee rebranding, but I didn't care to like look it up anymore. So I was like, wait, did I dream that or something? But yeah, this is their new name. This is a beautiful polish. I love reflectives. I love shimmers. I love these like weird blue-green kind of colors, and especially with like a golden yellow shimmer. It's stunning, but I don't want to get it. It's kind of familiar, but I also can't think of the polish it's reminding me of. So yeah, I guess, you know, we can just keep moving. And from here, the Night Owl is so pretty. Money is just candy that hasn't been born yet. Oh, this is from Bob's Burgers. Okay, yeah, if you couldn't tell, I just am not familiar with a lot of these references. But that is so pretty. Love the color. Not super crazy about like the flakies, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, this would be so cute for fall though. But I don't need it. So, you know, we can get out of there. Speaking of fall, this polish called Night Market. Oh my god, it's gorgeous. Those flakies are stunning, and it's in a deep blue-gray base that looks, you know, like a little jelly leaning. Super gorgeous though. The flakies are just giving, you know, fallen leaves. It's like a way more flaky focused version of Night Owl Lacquer's Windswept, where like that has, you know, like a gray base and like the copper shimmer with like some flakies. If you wanted more flakies, this looks like the polish for that. And speaking of familiar too, the Pampered Polishes Fix It Felix reminds me of the Night Owl lacquer that I grabbed last Black Friday. I think it was called Winter Wonderland, where it's kind of giving toothpaste vibes with, you know, the blue aqua kind of flakies and like the white crelly base. I don't think I'm really doing it any favors describing it as toothpaste, but like it is so cute for winter. So, you know, I love this one in theory, but I technically already have it. And lastly, I definitely am tempted by this listing here from Penelope Luz, but it's a duo. So let me just, you know, scroll down to, well, I guess, yeah, I'll just do the next two chunks or the next two rows to see the polishes individually, because yeah, the base looks so pretty. Oh my gosh, I I love it. I love it so much. I was gonna say it kind of reminds me of Mooncat's Sand Viper, but this is like so much more pink, like, you know, more of that rosy kind of color. I can see some people calling this like a grandma shade or something. I love it though. There's something just so so elegant and classy about it, and the shimmer just, you know, it's just so dreamy. And here is the shimmer topper, which is cute. I mean, this has like, yeah, this has a red to pink to gold iridescent micro flake and micro gold hollow glitter. Okay, so it's not even a shimmer exactly, it's like a micro flaky. Either way, it's pretty, but I definitely am more of a fan of the base. But okay, and this pepper polish, that magnetic, looks like the one we saw earlier from, I think, Vanessa Molina. So that is interesting. I'm not gonna scroll all the way up and back down, but I wonder how, you know, they compare size and cost wise. It's very cute though. And even the, you know, speaking of familiar, the Phoenix, the Hope, that one kind of looks like Penelope Luz's Sakura in a way. So, you know, a lot of like overlapping shades. This one from Phoenix called The Nothing, I feel like is so similar to something they released like maybe last year for Polish Pickup. Forgive me for, you know, not knowing the name, but I feel like that looks like one of those iconic Prugly colors. You know what I mean? That people were going so feral over, but I don't remember what it's called. So not that I think it's like, you know, an exact dupe, but definitely like a sister polish or something. It's cool, but, you know, not really my jam, right? So we can keep moving forward. As always, the Psyche Minerals just has like a beautiful reflective that one day I will get one. I will find one. I mean, I don't think I have a blue like this. I know I have like a super deep sapphire one from What's Up Nails, and then like a dustier one from KB Shimmer. This one kind of looks like a medium like denim blue, you know, like just a nice mid-tone, not super vibrant like a cobalt. But yeah, I don't really need one, you know, even though I can acknowledge I have a gap sort of, right, for this color. I don't really need to fill it, but maybe one day, because I feel like I always have like, you know, or Psyche Minerals has always like caught my eye, especially from Polish Pickup and now HellaHandmade. They look like they make some beautiful reflective glitters. The Ribbit Stickets also looks familiar. There's like a Polish Pickup shade from this month that like kind of had, you know, a similar color where I was like, oh, it looks like Holo Tacos Made Me ink. Maybe this is a little bit more purple, like less indigo, and the flakies are smaller, so, you know, it's not an exact dupe. It's so cute though with the label. Adorable. So yeah, we can again just move on. This Rogue is reminding me of Apocalypse's Shock Jock from, or the Very Strange Things collection. There we go. It looks similar here in this photo, but then I feel like in other photos it's, or maybe this one specifically, it just looks like a little darker. No, even this one too, like the shimmer is glowy, but I don't know, there's something about like the blue base that doesn't look as neon maybe as the Apocalypse, but it's a gorgeous shade. Sassy Sauce giving us, you know, the classic blue shimmer in a purple base. Ooh, but this one has black flakies. Very interesting. I know, you know, not everybody loves a black flaky. I feel like it could work though. It gives, you know, Halloween vibes, but I don't need it. And I know I said I'm not like in the market for anything else other than polish. I mean, technically I shouldn't be in the market for polish either, but what I mean to say is like, you know, I don't want to tap in to other types of products, but the Vibrant Scents with the Sugar Rush Sorbet scented base and top coat, it just sounds like it would be so up my alley. But I can't. I just have base and top coats. Like I have more than enough. I do not need to order anymore, but just such a pain because this sounds like it would be delicious. In a similar vein, the Sassy Pants Cuticle Balm called Seattle Rain, that just sounds like it would be good too. And I feel like I only recently became a fan of cuticle balm. I was like more of just a cuticle oil person, but this past winter had been so dry for me. I mean, obviously it's like, you know, dry for everybody, but I just felt especially dry this past winter compared to other winters. And so I was just you know, using my balms for once. And I was like, wow, okay, yeah, I should use these more often. But I definitely don't go through them as fast as I do cuticle oils. So I just, you know, I don't need more. But the scents sound so good. So we can move on finally to the last two rows here. And okay, definitely some pretty shades. I mean, the Watcha Magnetic called Mars. It's so simple but so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love this. I love this so much. I mean, I'm a fan of a beautiful brown. This one looks to be on like the cool tone side, which I feel like, you know, we don't really see that often, but it is complemented by this warm, fiery shimmer. Oh my god, it is gorgeous. Honestly, this is another one that is just so tempting because it's like, I know I have nothing like this in my collection. Like the shimmer color, I feel like, you know, we have seen before, right, where it shifts from gold to red basically, but in a magnetic, at least I can't think of one, but it is so pretty. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. I love that. The Zombie Claw, which kind of looks like the Penelope Lou shade, right? Maybe this looks a lot more jelly leaning though, so not an exact dupe, but it's definitely super cute. Like I love that pink base color with a little bit of a glowy shimmer, and this is also glow in the dark, though I have seen, you know, from previous comments that the experiences with the Zombie Claw glow in the dark shades haven't been the best or like the most consistent. I personally prefer a glow in the dark with like that smooth pigment like Holo Taco's glow in the dark top coat has, or Mooncat's glow in the dark polishes have. This looks like it's more of that grainy kind of effect, you know, which it's still glowy obviously, but it's just like if I'm choosing between this and the Penelope Lou's, I'd rather go with the Penelope Lou's, you know. Speaking of, you know, the Witch Cult nails, beautiful. Oh, that's so pretty. This one is kind of reminding me of Fauve's, oh, is it Monet, or maybe it's another one, or maybe this is just more purple than the Fauve, but just like the color, it's like, you know, kind of in that same family, but this has more of a slightly larger shimmer particle, or like a very, very tiny micro flaky tomato. It's so beautiful though. You know, actually this is also kind of like in a weird way reminding me of Cracked Polish's Home by 9, which was from HHC last month, but in like a sister polish kind of way. You know what I mean? Because this is obviously purple, the Cracked was pink, but they just have like, you know, these tiny like iridescent flakies and shimmers and whatnot. And this also has pink reflective glitter, which I'm pretty sure the Cracked also had. So it's just like, you know, slightly different color wise, but so pretty. I love shades like that. So yeah, that is the extent of what I'm gonna be looking at on the website, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, I have nothing on my wish list. So that wraps up my window shopping for HHC this month. As always, I'd love to know what you think of this month's offerings, if there were polishes that caught your eye or made it onto your wish list. As you saw, I was really tempted by a couple of the shades, like specifically the Dom and the Watcha. Those were so beautiful and definitely polishes that I'm gonna be like thinking about, but I feel like, again, I just have something similar enough, so I don't think I'm gonna regret it like months from now, even when I think of seeing more swatches, if that makes sense. So I am definitely very excited. I had a successful window shopping experience, so make sure to let me know any and all thoughts that you have down below so we can chat about it. But thank you so much for window shopping with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!